Human rights, gay rights, black civil rights, women's right, trans right, the right to free education, animal right, the right to healthcare, the right to internet access. You've all heard people talk about rights like this. That's a lie. The only real right that exists is the right to private property. The right to private property is a social order that emerged spontaneously and was preserved through evolution because the tribes that adopted it were better at surviving. Of course, when a stick and stone are just lying there in nature, the idea that either of them could belong to someone sounds absurd. It's just a stick, it's just a stone, they simply exist. The problem arises when several people try to satisfy their needs only to find that some resources are scarce. If one man builds a hut out of sticks and stones and wants to live in it, and another man then decides that he wants to live in the same hut, they now have a conflict. There's one hut, but two men want to live in it. At this point, there are only two ways to solve the conflict. Either one man beats the other with a stick, or there is some rule that determines whose hut it is. Beating someone with a stick may seem like an effective and tempting solution, but it has a few downsides. First, you might not be the one doing the beating, you might be the one getting beaten. Second, you cannot trade with a dead man. If the hut you took by force falls apart, you either have to repair it yourself or go back to having no hut at all. The more survival is at stake, the more destructive it becomes to attack the very people who could help you survive in the future. So there has to be some rule for determining who has the right to use it. And the rule that emerged was simple. The first person to put something to use became its owner. After that, it could be exchanged, and whoever received it through voluntary exchange became its rightful owner. This right also includes self-ownership. Every person owns himself. Every woman owns herself, every gay man owns himself, and every straight cisgender white man owns himself too. Now let's examine these other so-called rights. The right to be free healthcare means that if someone gets sick, someone else must provide him with medical care. That means another person must be forced to provide medical care, which violates that person's right to self-ownership. And if the idea is that doctor will pay it by someone else, then that other person must be forced to pay. Once again, someone's property has to be taken by force. Take black rights, for example. Every company must be required to hire at least 2 black employees. That means someone must force the company owner to hire them. Once again, that violates the right to private property. If you're a doctor and patient held you at gunpoint and forced you to treat him, you would understand exactly what was happening. But in the modern world, a middleman stands between them, the state. It hides what is really going